For decades, the United States was more than just a country. It was the world's dream destination. To visit America was to step into a movie scene. New York's canyons, California's highways, the Statue of Liberty, the Las Vegas Strip. Airports like JFK and LAX buzzed with travelers from every corner of the globe, each seeking adventure and discovery. National parks overflowed, hotels brimmed, and small businesses thrived on the constant flow of international visitors. America's open, welcoming spirit was its greatest asset, inspiring millions to make the journey and share their stories back home. This era marked the peak of American tourism, a time when visiting the U.S. was a rite of passage and a symbol of endless possibility. But by 2025, the dream was fading. The once bustling airports, filled with the energy of arriving travelers and the promise of new adventures, had grown eerily quiet. The hum of rolling suitcases and the chatter of excited tourists were replaced by silence and empty seats. International arrivals dropped by over 2% in the first half of the year, with the decline deepening through summer. The lines at passport control shrank, and baggage carousels spun with fewer bags, a visible sign of the changing tides. New Mexico's visitors fell by nearly 19%, leaving its famous plazas and museums echoing with emptiness. Local businesses, once thriving on the steady stream of out-of-state guests, faced uncertainty as foot traffic dwindled. New York lost 2.6 million tourists, a staggering number that rippled through hotels, restaurants, and attractions. The city that never sleeps found itself pausing, its iconic landmarks noticeably less crowded, and Florida saw 1.7 million fewer arrivals. Beaches, theme parks, and resorts, usually alive with laughter and activity, stood still, their usual vibrancy replaced by a sense of waiting. Even iconic destinations like Aspen and Hawaii felt the sting. As crowds thinned and businesses struggled, the ripple effect was felt everywhere, from ski towns to tropical beaches, as shop owners and workers faced tough choices. The U.S. became the only major country projected to lose foreign tourism spending in 2025, a $12.5 billion blow. This loss wasn't just a number, it meant fewer jobs, shuttered storefronts, and a shrinking sense of opportunity. Month after month, the numbers told a clear story. America was losing its place as a top global destination. The decline was steady, and the impact was felt in every corner of the country. States like Nevada and California, once magnets for travelers, saw significant drops. The glitz of Las Vegas and the glamour of Hollywood faded as visitor numbers plummeted. Each lost visitor meant missed opportunities, empty hotel lobbies, and a growing silence where there was once vibrant exchange. The story of America's tourism decline was written not just in numbers, but in the quiet spaces left behind. One of the most dramatic shifts in recent memory came from Canada, America's closest neighbor and longtime friend. For decades, the border between the two countries was a symbol of openness and trust, with millions crossing each year for business, family, and fun. But in 2025, everything changed. That year, Canadian visits to the U.S. plummeted by over 25%, a staggering drop that few could have predicted. Land crossings, once bustling with activity, fell by 37% in July alone, leaving border checkpoints eerily quiet during what should have been the busiest season. New tariffs and rising political tensions made cross-border travel less appealing than ever before. The Canadian Prime Minister, responding to both economic and diplomatic pressures, publicly urged citizens to vacation at home and support local businesses instead of heading south. The impact on American tourism was immediate and severe. Las Vegas, a longtime favorite for Canadian travelers, saw a 20% drop in visitors from the north. California's theme parks and beaches reported a 17% decline, while Florida's sunny resorts lost nearly 20% of their Canadian guests. Millions of Canadians who once filled hotels, restaurants, and attractions simply stayed away. The absence was felt everywhere, from bustling city centers to quiet resort towns, leaving a noticeable void in places that had come to rely on their northern neighbors. The easy, almost casual flow across what was once called the world's friendliest border slowed to a trickle. For many, it was a jarring reminder of how quickly even the strongest ties can be strained by politics and policy. For businesses in northern U.S. towns, the loss was more than just numbers. It was a daily blow to livelihoods. Shop owners, hoteliers, and restaurant workers watched as familiar faces disappeared, and once busy parking lots sat empty. The reasons behind the rupture were complex, involving economics, politics, and shifting attitudes. But the result was unmistakable: a sudden break in a bond that had fueled American tourism, friendship, and prosperity for generations. While the U.S. struggled, Mexico was booming. In the first half of 2025, Mexico welcomed a record 23.4 million international tourists, a 7% jump from the previous year. Tourism revenue soared to nearly $19 billion, fueling growth and jobs. Americans and Canadians flocked south. 7.4 million U.S. visitors and 1.7 million Canadians, the latter up nearly 12%. Cancun, Tulum, and Mexico City buzzed with energy, offering a warm welcome and affordable experiences. The contrast was stark. While the U.S. lost visitors, Mexico's appeal only grew. Travelers sought destinations that felt open, accessible, and inviting. Mexico's success highlighted a shift. North Americans weren't staying home, they were just choosing somewhere else. The global travel landscape was changing, and Mexico was seizing the moment. America's tourism slump wasn't caused by one thing, it was a perfect storm. Stricter immigration policies and long visa waits made the U.S. feel unwelcoming. Economic pressures, rising costs, inflation, and unfavorable exchange rates made trips more expensive. New tariffs drove up prices for businesses and travelers alike. News and social media painted a picture of division and tension, eroding the image of American hospitality. For many, the hassle and uncertainty outweighed the dream. The attractions remained, but the journey felt daunting. In 2025, travelers chose destinations that felt easier, friendlier, and more affordable. Amid the international decline, domestic travel kept the U.S. tourism industry afloat. Americans hit the road, exploring national parks, visiting family, and discovering hidden gems at home. Domestic travel spending was projected to grow, reaching $135 trillion in 2025. Staycations and road trips replaced overseas adventures, keeping hotels and attractions busy, at least with local guests. Some destinations thrived, while others reliant on foreign visitors struggled. The industry survived, but the rich mix of global cultures and spending was missing. America was becoming more insular, relying on its own citizens to sustain tourism. The absence of international visitors was a warning. A healthy industry needs the world, not just itself. Yet hope remains. Even after years of uncertainty and setbacks, the spirit of travel endures. For many, the dream of exploring America's vast landscapes, vibrant cities, and unique culture is still alive, waiting to be rekindled. The U.S. tourism industry is fighting back, determined to reclaim its place as a top global destination. With major events on the horizon, there's a renewed sense of optimism and energy. In 2026, the U.S. will co-host the FIFA World Cup, bringing together fans from every corner of the globe. That same year, the nation will celebrate its 250th anniversary, a milestone that will draw worldwide attention and inspire millions to visit and join in the festivities. Just 2 years later, the 2021 San Sin Urban Sin Chasinquanibani Dorman and Chien Chiensters Lampex promise another surge of visitors, athletes, and media, all eager to experience the excitement and hospitality that America can offer. Behind the scenes, efforts are underway to speed up visa processing, modernize entry procedures, and restore America's welcoming image. These changes are designed to make travel easier, safer, and more inviting for everyone. These steps are crucial to rebuilding trust and inviting the world back. A warm welcome at the border can set the tone for an entire journey, making visitors feel valued and at home. Travel builds bridges, fosters understanding, and connects cultures in ways nothing else can. Every interaction, every shared story, helps create a more connected and compassionate world. The decline in visitors is more than economic, it's a loss of connection, a missed opportunity for cultural exchange and friendship. Empty landmarks and shuttered shops are reminders of what's at stake. Rebuilding the American tourism dream means reopening the country's heart to the world, welcoming families, adventurers, and dreamers to experience all that the U.S. has to offer. What will it take to make the world dream of visiting America again? The answer lies in how the U.S. chooses to welcome the world next, with open arms, open minds, and a renewed commitment to connection.